What's going on, guys? I'm just sitting in my room here, getting myself ready to go to the gym. Just jumped out of the shower. You know, gotta keep yourself clean before you go and get mean. Because we got some deadlifts, got some row variations, got a little bit of, not push-ups, but push-ups. You're gonna love them. They're friggin' hot. They're hard. Let me tell you. Carly and I, we're gonna be fighting it on this one. They destroyed us last time we tried it, and they're gonna destroy us again. Get ready, guys. It's tough. Alright guys, so here we're starting with Carly's deadlift. She's got 60 pounds on each side for a grand total of 120 plus the 45-pound bar is 165 pounds. So this set here, Carly's got pretty decent form, I would have to say. This is set 5. The next set that we go into, we both decided to try using a belt for the first time, so you guys will get to see that in a few seconds. Then we go into my set here. This is my second or third set. It was pretty light for me, actually. Notice that I've pretty much moved entirely away from the hockey grip stance. I find that that's really awkward now. Notice also at the top of each rep, I'm locking out my hips as I thrust forward. And my feet, I've got my toes positioned pointed out. I find that when I'm able to do that, I'm able to bring my knees down a little bit deeper so I can get a little bit deeper of a squat so I can activate my hamstrings a lot more. I find it to be more effective of a way to deadlift. And then here we go to Carly's deadlift. Here she ends up pulling 205 pounds. Notice that she's got the belt on. So this is our first time using it, as I said previously. Her back does arch ever so slightly here, but this is a new PR for Carly, and it's not an overtly ridiculous arch. It's not like some 180 degree angle, it's pretty minimal actually. And we go to my set here, and I've got 305 pounds on each side. I've been able to pull this before for 2. This is my second set trying it here. I did it beltless before for 2, and then I went for 1. And couldn't even finish it off. It was a pretty weak set. Then we move here to a row variation. And we've got Carly doing 20 pounds on each side plus 45-pound bar. And now we're going into mine. So notice how my head is flat, but I'm not exactly touching the bar just to keep my neck neutral. I find that I get trapped stiffness if I turn my head to the sides, so I keep it straight down. And then notice that how I'm pulling back with the bar to activate my lats entirely, as well as my rhomboids. If you're just gonna pull straight up and straight down, you're gonna activate your traps a lot more. And then notice I switch my hand position here. This helps with getting a little bit more of the posterior inner portion of your lats. Then we go into a pre-exhaustion here for chest of pec flies on a cable machine. So I did 10 to 12 reps and Carly did anywhere from 10 to 15 reps. The rationale behind doing this pre-exhaustion for chest is because it's our second day of hitting upper body chest. We kind of made it more of accessory lifts, so more or less to increase the frequency rather than increase the strength. Our back lifts were our strength lifts for the day, whereas on our chest day, our back stuff is accessory, so we'd probably follow up with the same pre-exhaustion type of method. These push-ups here, Carly's going for her knees. These are not easy push-ups. Carly's exceptionally strong. She can do about 15 to 25 push-ups from her legs, where it's so normal traditional push-up, and here she couldn't even pull off 3 from her feet. They're difficult push-ups, let me tell you. And we did 4 sets of both of those, superset back to back. And then we move into TRX rear delt flies. So with Carly's form here, she's keeping her arms stabilized in the same position. She's not just dropping her arms straight the moment she gets to the top. She's not just dropping her shoulders when she gets at the bottom of the rep. She's keeping her shoulders back, her traps are down, her elbows are bent entirely. All the focus is on her rear delts. And we superset that with rear delt flies. Notice how my hands are coming together in a supine position and then they're half pronating as I'm reaching the top of the rep. I find that this is new. I just kind of started doing this, but I found that I isolate the rear delt a lot more and remove any trap action entirely. Then we move to cable press downs with a rope. So Carly's got her elbows positioned in place. This was too light of a weight for her and we only got half the set, but regardless. And then we move into her bicep curls here. So we did actual curls the whole way through, and then once she fatigued, we did alternating curls to get a little bit of the supinator muscle. The rationale behind doing a bicep curl is to actually work your biceps. You might as well use the entire portion of your bicep. So if you're turning out and coming up, you're going to miss a good 1/3 of the bicep. So in my position here, I've got my chest up, my shoulders are rotated back, my elbows in place, and it's more or less just my arms coming straight up and straight down to fully isolate the long head, lateral head, and the medial head of your tricep. Notice that there's next to no movement in my arms. Everything is positioned in place. I do cheat a little bit when I lean over at the end there, getting a little bit of shoulder activation, but by the end of it, it's kind of expected. So we didn't get the entire portion of bicep, but we did do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps here for bicep curls, as well as alternating, supinating curls. All right, guys, I don't want to keep you here too long, but what'd you think of that video? Me personally, my back was feeling it. Those deadlifts, let me tell you, I don't know what's wrong with me, but my hand grip strength seems to fail before my back does. And Carly is the complete opposite, as you guys can see. She can get it up no problem, but then her back arches and rounds a little bit, which isn't exactly safe either. But for the purpose of making PRs, for the purpose of making gains here, sometimes your back is going to round a little and you got to cheat the rep a little bit. As long as she's not arching her back entirely, not going like that with her back or anything, it's not exactly terrible for her. And she is still relatively clean on all of her other lifts. It's just when she's shooting for that last heavy rep, that heavy PR, you're going to have a little bit of rounding there. Anyways, guys, I just want to give you a little update on my diet as well. So I've been intermittent fasting during this bulk for the past probably 2, maybe 3 weeks now. And actually, no more than 2 weeks, sorry. About 2.5 weeks, tops maybe. So anyways, it has been actually decent. For the most part, I'm not feeling super bloated. As long as I don't leave all my food till the very last hour or two, I'm usually pretty good. I just got to work on progressively making my meals all more or less the same size, rather than having my breakfast about 1,000 calories and my dinner about 1,500 calories, because then that just ends up being a substantial amount of bloating throughout the day. And then I don't want to eat lunch, and then my dinner becomes huge because I got to make up the calories. It's kind of a vicious cycle, but hey, sometimes sacrifices must be made for gains. The rationale for doing this intermittent fasting is more or less to try and limit the amount of body fat that I'm gaining. Uh, Realistically, I am going to gain body fat throughout this bulk regardless. But if I can limit it to not so much a percentage value, but just limit it to a factor where it's keeping me relatively lean in proportion to what I was before I started intermittent fasting, because I noticed that there was periods where I was gaining like a pound a week, and there's no way that was a pound of muscle. So this is kind of not so much slowing down the bulking process, but more of a controlling factor, because I've noticed that if I decrease my calories any more than 3,725, I lose weight. It can be anywhere from a pound to 3 pounds. It's mostly water weight, but at the same time, it just becomes frustrating when you're trying to make weekly progress. But nonetheless, guys, this workout, let me know what you think. I hope we taught you some new exercises. Hope you guys like that push-up exercise we did. What we tried to do is a pre-exhaustion method for our chest. So we did flies first to failure, which typically range from 10 to 12 or 10 to 15 reps for Carly. And then we went into doing push-ups with the bumper plates on a barbell. It was just exceptionally hard exercise. By the 4th set, I was even finishing my last couple of reps for my knees myself. Usually I can do like 50 push-ups, just body weight style, without even taking a break. This time I was hitting like 5 or 6 push-ups, and my chest was just so fatigued that I couldn't go much further. We're definitely going to be implementing this. I'd say give this a try, guys, if you can. Another way that you can implement this is to use a little kind of Ouija board scooter type of idea. As long as there's movement, it'll work all the same. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with scooters. Carly and I typically use them on our core training exercises, but it works almost exactly the same. It's just less of an incline push because you're more or less the same level as the scooters. But other than that, guys, let me know what you think. Hope you guys think I'm growing bigger, because I think I'm getting bigger, getting stronger by the month almost. So all my lifts have been increasing. It's just my deadlift has been struggling to get over that 303 plates and a 5 on each side. I hit 3 plates and 7.5 last week, but I couldn't even pull that up today. It was a rough day. All right, guys. I don't want to keep you here any longer. Stay strong. Let me know what you want me to film next, guys. I'll do a subscriber video, we'll call it. If you guys want me to film something specific, let me know and I'll get down to it. All right, guys, stay strong.